Hey folks, lyarri here, today reacting to my funniest high story but mostly true. It's been a little bit since I've reacted to one of his videos, and I really like the ones about getting high. I have a couple of stories myself, and I'll try and share them at the end of the video. Let's go!
Video was sponsored by Manscaped. Look, I know sparking up can sometimes lead to paranoid moments or weird situations. But sometimes, smoking up can also lead to uncontrollable laughter. So here's one of the funniest moments that I can recall from my, career, if you want to call it that. So this is a banger of a story, but it's a little on the debaucherous side. I can't say I'm proud of this moment, and I definitely cannot condone this behavior, but this is what happened. So this story takes place a few years ago at a New Year's party at my friend's house. And like any New Year's party, there is at least 2 people blacked out on the couch by 10 p.m., a couple of dudes are playing Edward 40 Hands, and everyone's generally having a good time. But for some reason, there was a bowl of Cocoa Puffs on the dining room table with no milk in it. I guess someone poured themselves a bowl of cereal and then realized there was no milk in the fridge. So a dry bowl of Cocoa Puffs was just chilling on the table all night. Remember that, because I'll get back to that in a moment. So as the night goes on, people are slowly dropping like flies, leaving only the true cavemen left by the end of the night. So the party's kinda died down by now, and so all the homies decide to squat up in the living room and have a little bong sesh. So we're passing it around, having a good time, cracking jokes, you know, the usual. Then the bong gets passed to one of my friends. A friend who is known for taking jokes too far. Like, way too far, but in a funny way. You'll see what I mean in a second. So he takes the bong, and keep in mind, we are absolutely blasted. We've hotboxed the whole living room, we've been drinking, it's New Year's, and we got some smooth jazz playing in the background. You know, 'cause vibes and shit. So anyway, my friend takes the bong, and he looks over at the bowl of Cocoa Puffs on the table, and we all notice him looking, and he's making this funny, suspicious face, and we start cracking up. We all know what he's thinking, but there's no way he's gonna do what we think he's gonna do. Nope, no way. But he reaches over to the bowl and he grabs a single Cocoa Puff. We keep laughing. There's no possible way he's gonna do this. But then he places the Cocoa Puff in the bowl. Anticipation intensifies. He flicks the lighter and brings the flame up to the bowl. He's gonna stop at any moment, and we'll all laugh it off as a funny joke. But then he starts inhaling. It has to be some type of prank. There's no way he's actually gonna inhale and blow out smoke. And he pulls the bong away. We are bursting at the seams. We've never seen anything like this. And then he blows out a fat cloud of Cocoa Puff smoke. Jazz music stops. The crowd goes wild. We erupt with laughter. And then he passes the bong. And we each take turns smoking a Cocoa Puff. It honestly probably took like 10 years off my life. Don't do this. It's not safe or healthy. Anytime I get a cold or sick nowadays, I blame it on that one time I smoked Cocoa Puffs. If I randomly die in a few years, it honestly probably had something to do with this night. And then the next day I make a tweet. Man, everybody was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs last night. And it was my most fire tweet. Everyone from school is commenting shit like, haha, sound like a crazy party. But what they don't know is that we literally smoked Cocoa Puffs. And honestly, there's just no better example of the phrase, just guys being dudes. Anyways, today's episode is sponsored by Manscaped. If you don't have a personal hygiene routine down, I don't know what you're doing, because Manscaped has everything you need. From keeping those hedges trimmed with their Lawnmower 4.0 to keeping those balls smelling fresh with their Crop Preserver ball deodorant. With Manscaped's Platinum Package 4.0, you can take care of all your hygiene needs with one complete package. Use code MOSTLYTRUE at checkout for 20% off plus free shipping.
When it goes back,
Ever since I started using Manscaped, my balls have never been smoother, and my confidence has never been higher. Manscaped has even included 2 free gifts into their Platinum Package 4.0. The Manscaped Boxers and their Shed Travel Bag. Use the Weed Whacker to get rid of those pesky nose hairs, and the Lawnmower 4.0 to get balls as smooth as marbles. Again, that's code MOSTLYTRUE at checkout for 20% off plus free shipping. And for real though, guys, getting a good hygiene routine is important, because there are memes being made about us men, and how poorly we take care of ourselves and how smelly we are. And so, let's change that. Thank you, Manscaped, for sponsoring this video.
What a
Well,
cause.
I'm off to freshen up. I got a couple of stick babes coming over to the studio tonight.
Oh,
Wish me luck, boys.
damn. He's gonna get some. Wow. I love all these all these names. Incredible. I'm not sure if I saw all of them in the video. Maybe during the party. Wait, what was that? Wait. I saw something that looked super interesting. 1 second. It was Chicken McFuck, Trey is Moist, Simon KG, and Jacob Prep. Oh, interesting. Um. So okay, my high story, right? Like that video, obviously. I feel like the best one I have, probably more of a concept. Me and a group of friends, there was this like building that had like a fire escape, right? And they would never like stop you from climbing up the fire escape at night. So we would always, and they had like this really like pleasant rooftop with chairs outside. It was perfect. And so we would always like go up there at night and smoke weed and have fun. And then we first I found out later that like we always like could look into this like really dark and weird room that had like a lot of security. And I found out later it was a like a cryopreservation for semen place, which I feel kind of bad. I hope we didn't like fuck up anyone's future kids or anything. But besides that, like first of all, I I bought like two family nuggets one day from Wendy's when they like introduced them, and there were like 8 people to have 100 nuggets. It was a good sesh. And then after that, like eventually we stopped using the spot because we got sussed out. And like I remember one of the guys thought like they would see cop cars driving around and stuff sometimes. And so we eventually stopped using the spot. And there was also a better spot that we ended up using, which was like this really pleasant park and really fun. It just you had to be there earlier in the day. Um and a month later, some kids got arrested there. Like they jacked our spot, so they kind of deserved it. But yeah, they got also yeah, another part was like too many people started using the spot because word got around. Um yeah, it was fun. Like I honestly really enjoyed sitting like I still have really fond memories. There was another time where I was at the park with one friend specifically, and like we were smoking and like all of a sudden we're just sitting there at the park and we hear dogs, and like it was one of those parks where like it was multiple people's like extended backyard. And so like we think like we were so fucking high. Like this is one of my first times smoking. I was gone. And yeah, the dog ran at us and we thought it was like the cops or something. Obviously we were super afraid of cops at this point. Uh and I remember like this was a park that was gated. Like it was nighttime and it was closed. There was a gate that they closed. And so me and my friend like we had to run and hop the gate while high as shit. I had never hopped a gate in my life. It was tough, but I did it really fast. I'm proudest I've ever been of myself. And then, yeah, we ran to my car, which we had parked across the street, got in, drove away, and we're like, wow, we made it. We survived. And then finally, the other story I have, and there's probably a few more, but shoot, what was this story? Oh my god. So we were hotboxing my car in like a plaza behind a Dunkin' Donuts. And we had done this a number of times, and I always got so sussed by it. Like I thought, no way that like we actually don't get caught at some point. I think it was actually behind a Publix. But anyways, but like near a Dunkin'. But anyways, so like one day we're like sitting there and we're hotboxing the car. It's like a long ass hotbox, and then we hear a tap tap on the window of the front passenger seat, and my friend rolls down the window and just a big cloud of smoke pops in the cop's face. and they ask us to get out of the car and all that stuff. And very I was a little fortunate in that like this was when I was in college by this point, where and I had a number of different friend groups, and these were like two people who were seniors in high school. Um, and so I was kind of like, if I got arrested there, it was kind of a big fucking deal. And fortunately, like, cops love me. I wonder why. And my other friend, like, he's Muslim, so like, but he like is very calm around cops and was able to like get on their good side basically. But then my other friend was also white, but unfortunately he had like the biggest fucking attitude, and he was more like my friend's friend, so the other dude. And like he wouldn't even tell them his name. Like they asked for his ID, he wouldn't give it to them. Like me and my friend, like we actually like we concocted good stories. Like they asked us about our lives. I sobered up quick and I was like, yeah, I'm in school. I'm doing yada 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 yada. And I really like, yeah, no, I'm sorry. I this was silly. And I remember they made us like throw out our grinders and stuff, and they searched my car. But thankfully, like we didn't end up going to jail. And like the friend of a friend who was like being a bit of an asshole to them got smarter because we all looked at him and like literally called him out while we were talking to the cops, I'm pretty sure. um so yeah, that was scary, little spooky. uh yeah, I know those stories weren't as exciting as this one, but figured I'd talk about them. I like how you reference the levels of drunk with the shoes in the fridge. I knew that was a thing that he did before. Like I was like, wait, isn't that an in gag in reference? In reference? I don't know the right word. My favorite stickman. Excuse me. My favorite stickman storyteller back at it again. True. My best high story was sneaking out my window as a teenager, smoking with friends, coming back at like 2 a.m. and rang the doorbell. I just stood there for a few seconds and then sprinted away after I realized what I did. LMAO. Dude, that was actually quite tame. Some of the stuff my friends group did as kids was absolutely wild. It's no wonder half of my childhood friends are dead or in prison now. Yeah, I was definitely always like I don't think I was a killjoy, but I definitely moderated like the more hardcore impulses that some of my friends had. I did not want to go to jail. I thought he was gonna eat the Cocoa Puffs with bong water. That's what I thought. That would have been savagely taking a joke way too far. Smoking a Cocoa Puff is lame, TBH. It was a good story. I thought it was funny. It sounds like the average Tuesday in Ohio. I have some Ohioan cousins. I totally thought he was gonna pour the bong water in the bowl as the most evil prank to ever go down in history. That would have been insane. Bro, this is the best channel I found in a long time. Keep it up. Those stories and your storytelling are golden. One time my friend was spraying cologne on his jacket to conceal the weed smell, and he noticed it stained where he sprayed. He holds out his arm and screams WTF before furiously rubbing the stain for a minute straight while all the rest of us are in tears. By the end, he had ripped a hole in the jacket and the fluff started falling out, which made it even funnier. Nearly pissed myself. It was so funny. I love those moments when you're super fucking stoned and you almost like piss yourself because you're just laughing so much. Um, Very true and very real. I never actually done it, I promise. Okay, this has 74 likes and it looks like a fun story. I'm gonna just read this real quick. So, some years ago in a school camp, a friend had these coffee bags. It's like a tea bag, except for coffee. Very strange. I can't remember why, but for some reason, someone thought it would be really funny if he smoked it. That I mentioned all of us were completely sober and not smokers. So basically, he'd never touched a cigarette, but tried to smoke coffee. He coughed, and soon he felt regret, just screaming, "Don't look at me." Can you get high off smoking? Is that like a thing? Like smoking coffee? Can you do that? That sounds kind of interesting, maybe. I don't know if it works like that. Yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, folks. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye. Hey, folks, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like the video, subscribe on YouTube, follow on Twitch, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.